I tried on a lot of wedding dresses, some so fast I just put it on, said no, and immediately took it right off. This is the wedding dresses I tried on but did not buy, plus my experience at Kleinfelds video. We have a guest, little Tank is here. And Tank is here to talk about wedding dresses. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and I am a September 2024 bride. Like I said, we are going to be talking about all the wedding dresses, well, not all, some of the wedding dresses that I tried on but wound up not buying. I am obviously not going to show the dress that I did wind up purchasing. That will be a whole other reveal in September after I do get married. But I just wanted to do this. I always found these videos so fun. So, my experience. I got engaged in April of this year and we were getting married in September. If you are not familiar with the usual schedule of wedding dress buying, you usually go like 12 to 9 months before your wedding date. So, I was cutting it kind of close, and that is mostly because a dress needs to be ordered from the designer, made in that size, then it gets delivered to whatever shop you went to, and then you go through alterations, which there's usually like 3 rounds of alterations. I just had my second round of alterations at the end of July, and I have my third one at the end of August, and that's really just like a final try on, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's sort of thing. I first went to a bridal boutique called Mia Rose Boutique down in Delaware. I loved my experience. That's where I got the dress from. But that was the day that I found out that our original venue had canceled. So it was a really weird day of emotions. Again, another story for a different day. But to go from, oh my god, panic, don't even have a venue now, you know, the wedding is in 3 months because we wanted to get married in September of this year. What are we gonna do? What's going on? Oh right, I have to be like happy and excited to go wedding dress shopping. And I think there's a lot of emotions that come up with wedding dress shopping. There's a lot of excitement, but there can be a lot of like turmoil also. I'll say that I was lucky that I was having a good body image day both days that I went wedding dress shopping. I think if I was just having one of my days where I was having a bad body image day, I wouldn't have had a good time. Do need to remind myself sometimes going through this process, and I've seen other brides talk about it on TikTok, that you are still allowed to be happy and in love and get married and have a wonderful day, even if your physical body doesn't align with maybe how you feel mentally. Like, even if your physical body isn't where you want it to be or what you think it should be or whatever, you're still allowed like happiness and love and to feel beautiful. I think there can also be an added pressure of, you know, this is the wedding dress. As a woman in society, you're told your wedding day is going to be the most important day of your life. It is going to be the day that you feel absolutely beautiful, almost like the peak of your beauty, and everything should be perfect, but you're going into an experience you've never gone into before. It's just weird. It's like a very weird experience because you just don't know what to expect. And also because of the time crunch, I was open to a lot of things. I was open to long dresses, short dresses, and even colors as long as it was pastel. Most appointments are going to ask that you bring inspiration. So these were the inspiration photos that I had brought. As you can see, they are form-fitting, a little mermaid-esque, detailed and sparkles, probably a bit more revealing or not as modest as maybe some other dresses were. There is this other one that I actually, not this exact designer, but I tried on a dress at Mia Rose that was pretty much this exact dress, And when I walked in and I saw they had it, I was like, oh my God, I know that's going to be my dress because I just think it's so beautiful. And even looking at this picture, I still think it is a beautiful dress. I actually spoke about this in a TikTok where you look at these dresses online and there is this beautiful, gorgeous dress. And on the hanger, the dress might be more conventionally beautiful than maybe the dress you bought. Because this is how I feel. I would say there are dresses out there that on the hanger are so much prettier, more intricate, more couture than my dress, but the vibe is totally different. And this dress, this sparkly one, is a perfect example of this. I didn't even get a photo in this dress because that's how much I hated how I looked in it. And it was not a like body thing, it was a vibe. Like my physical vibe did not fit the vibe of the dress. And when I tried it, I looked so silly. Like honestly silly. It just did nothing for me. So this first dress here, I liked. I felt like it was one of the first dresses that I started to feel something in, despite my face looking like I'm super angry. I started to feel like, okay, like I could see myself in something like this, but it just wasn't the one. A lot through my appointment, I necessarily couldn't articulate like this detail I didn't like or I did like. It was really, this vibe is just not the one. Then this next one where I'm actually smiling was where I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Like, okay, like I liked this dress, but again, I knew it wasn't the one, and it wasn't even like a contender in the end, but it just, I don't know, something felt different. And now looking at it, I can say that the structure of it is similar to the dress that I am wearing. So looking back, it's kind of funny to like be like, at that time I couldn't pinpoint what it necessarily was about it, but now that we're like on the other side, I'm like, oh yeah, like it is kind of similar. And I liked that it had straps and a low back. A big theme for me was straps and a low back. I don't necessarily like strapless things on me. One, I didn't necessarily want to be pulling up the dress the whole time, which as a pointer, if a dress is made properly, the corset, the bodice part, should be able to hold itself up and basically be molded to you, so you're not constantly picking it up. There was a dress at Kleinfelds, the first dress I tried on there. It was a Maggie Sotero dress. Again, a stunning, beautiful, stunning dress where the corset was like built in and was actually like sitting on my hips, and then there was kind of like this outer corset on the outside that was then more of the dress, and like that is how it should be structured, so the dress actually stays up. But that's just not the case. Sometimes you just can't get a perfect fit of everything because, right, these aren't couture dresses necessarily. They are still being like factory made, even though you're going through alterations. So I did want straps. I also just feel I have big straps. I kind of have like broadish shoulders for someone my height, and I just like the way straps look. It kind of breaks up this area. Though when I heard people were getting Botox in their trapezius muscles for their wedding, I was like, ooh, should I get that? And I was like, Amelia, let's not, come on. This other one was another one that I really did like, and I thought it was a pretty dress, but again, just not the one. I liked the difference in lace on the bottom of the train, and that it had thick straps, but it was like almost strapless. Just a very elegant top, but again, it wasn't necessarily giving what I wanted it to give. This dress was definitely in my top 3. The funny thing is it was all open down here and you could actually see my belly button ring. So I remember being like, oh, I have to like change out my belly button ring if this is the dress. I really liked this one. The stylist said I could like add straps onto this, which I was like really happy about. I thought it was beautiful and like would fit my body really well. But I just wound up not going with this one, and I would say because it was just maybe a little bit too much. Then this dress was the one that my mom picked out, and it was, I don't know if I would say like her favorite, but it was in the window and she would like pass it all the time, so I tried it on. And I actually really did wind up liking this one. I tried on something very similar to this at Kleinfelds, and one of my friends said I looked like a garden princess in that one, but that is kind of how I felt even in this one. And when you see the one from Kleinfelds, you'll understand. But like, it gave very like casual garden princess vibes, and I really liked it. But again, that click of this is the dress was not there. The funny story about the dress that I actually chose was there's probably about like 30 minutes left to the appointment, and we had tried on a lot. As I said, there were some that I never even got a photo of because I just really didn't like them, or because I put them on in the dressing room and then immediately took them off. The stylist allowed us to walk around to just see if anything jumped out. We were walking back to the changing room and there was this rack of just all dresses, and my mom pulled out this one dress and I was like, oh, like that's pretty, I'll try that on. Because at this point I think I was just like, let's just try on as much as I can to see what I like and don't like. I'm probably not going to find a dress. And so my mom asked, hey, like what's the deal with this rack? And it was the rack of discontinued items. So like you were buying the actual dress on the rack rather than, you know, putting an order in for the dress to come. So it was pretty much like you either had to be like that size or close to that size. And the stylist was like, oh, there's probably not even anything there. As soon as I put it on, looked at myself in the changing room mirror, right? No accessories, no veil, no nothing. I was like, this is the dress. I knew it. As soon as I put it on, there was just that feeling of, oh my God, this is my wedding dress. I feel bad, like I can't give more advice besides to like, make sure you're staying in your price range. Make sure you can order it and get it there. In that price range, make sure you can allocate for alterations. Think about the activities, you know, you're going to be doing in the dress. And most importantly, if you feel beautiful in the dress, or, you know, as beautiful as one piece of clothing can make you feel, that's what's important. Stunning is the word that I kept coming back to. And there was even this woman who was coming in to look at like mother of the bride dresses, and she like stopped and was like, please tell me you're getting that dress because it is so beautiful on you. And it was just kind of that moment where like, yes, like, you know, just to have that reaction from a stranger is nice. I'm not gonna lie, you know, a little outside validation is okay, I think, in moderation. So now we can move on to Kleinfelds. So basically I said yes to that dress and was able to purchase it right then and there and take it with us. Because it had been in a fashion show, we did have to get it dry cleaned. I was very nervous about this, but Mia Rose gave us a good recommendation and it got dry cleaned and they did an amazing job. It's like called Green Cleaners. So the week after, even that weekend, we were going up to Kleinfelds. Now, Kleinfelds is the store for Say Yes to the Dress on TLC. I grew up watching Say Yes to the Dress, so it was just always kind of like, you know, we're gonna go to Kleinfelds to try on wedding dresses. And even though I found my dress, I still wanted the experience. Now, I kind of lied to my stylist, who is Lisa, who was on the show, and I did say I didn't purchase the dress yet. I did show them. They said, was there a dress you really liked at the other place you went to? And I said yes, and they were like, did you buy it? And I lied and said no, because I know that's a big no-no. I know that's a big no-no. And they said, okay, good. I said, all right, the lie worked. Everyone keep this up. And then, you know, we spoke about what I wanted. They also asked that I had gone onto their website beforehand and also picked out some wedding dresses. Again, they were very similar to the ones that I showed. If I can pull up my account, I'll put them here. There were some short dresses. There was a short panina tournée dress that I would have loved to try on, but I just didn't get the opportunity to. You walk in, you check in, you sit in this waiting room, and I don't know, there were like 10 other brides there. There was even the person you check out with to like help finance and pay for your wedding dresses in there. And then most of it is you walk into this open room, and the room on TV seems a lot bigger than what it actually is. And then behind like the room, there's all the dressing rooms, and there's also like private fitting areas there. But I was in an obviously private dressing room, but then out on the floor with all the other brides. So they pulled a bunch, and unlike at Mia Rose where I was kind of dressing myself, they were dressing me, which was really weird because you are topless. You know, you have underwear on. I had like little like Spanx on, but it was really weird. They're just like choop, choop on, you know, understand we're all women, like it's nothing they haven't seen before, but it is kind of like, oh, okay. And they're fast with it. I mean, they are quick moving. I had seen TikToks before saying it is fast paced and high pressure, and I am so glad that I saw those TikToks and knew, because I feel like if I had gone in under the assumption of what you think Kleinfelds is, this very fairy tale, lovely time, I would have been even more panicked, and we'll get to that, than I was. So I was prepared for fast pace, high pressure, and it was. I was happy I went, despite the panic that came and, you know, having my wedding dress. I am still happy that I did the experience, and, you know, I now have a Kleinfelds bag that is like holding all my stuff. Obviously for them, this is now like a corporate business, and time is money. Lisa was amazing in the fact that as she could like read my emotions before I could even articulate what I wanted. And if she saw like I wasn't into something, she'd be like, you're not into it. And I'd be like, you're right. And she'd go, let's get out of it. Like, she can really read your emotions before you even can, which is nice. To almost kind of have like someone take charge. I probably tried on like 20 dresses there. A lot I didn't get photos of because, as I said, I would put them on in the private changing room. She could tell I didn't like it, and we would just immediately take it off, or it just wasn't necessarily something I wanted a photo of. So this dress here was the first dress I tried on, and it was the Maggie Sottero dress that I was talking about. Had like the really good corset in it. I was allegedly the first person to try on this dress. I got to meet the designer of Maggie Sottero, who is not Maggie Sottero. It is a man, and I forget his name. But it was actually really nice to be able to meet the designer and talk to him a little bit about this dress. This was a new dress that they got in, and this one reminded me a lot of the wedding dress that Blair Waldorf wears when she gets married to Chuck. Spoiler alert. And so it was definitely on my list because I was like, oh my god, I feel like Blair. And I think that dress that she wears in there, although it is long sleeve and blue, blah blah blah, the applique and the flowers and the sparkles is very similar to that dress. I did kind of feel like Blair, and it was kind of like, oh my god, should I like do a whole Blair thing? This dress was stunning. I still love this dress. This was like a beautiful piece of art, and to like meet the designer of something like this, it like really did mean a lot to me as like a former fashion kid. There was then this dress that I actually also really liked. Again, it had more of probably like a traditional feel than some of the other ones that I was trying on, but it was just, it wound up not being this one, the one that I thought I was going to get. So then we have this dress, and as you can see, it is very similar to that other one, all flower applique one at Mia Rose, but it just had a slimmer line and the open corset, which was kind of like blending a lot of them. And I have to say, I also got the oh my god feeling in this dress. I even started to tear up a little bit of like, because I felt really beautiful in this dress. And Lisa could tell that. And so we started to accessorize, and I had a moment of, oh my god, what are we going to do? Now, because the other dress, Amelia Rose, was discontinued. It was deeply discounted. I had a certain budget for my wedding dress, and if I had purchased both of them, it would have like been within the budget. But for whatever reason, I was kind of like, I only want one wedding gown. I'm fine with changing into like a reception dress, but only one wedding gown. But my mom was very much like, you can have both. Like, there is room in the budget for both. So don't feel like you can't get them if that's what you want. I started to panic. Everyone around me was saying yes to the dress and screaming and crying and popping champagne. And my legs started to sweat. And at that moment, I was like, I need to get out of this dress. Because Lisa, at this point, seeing that I am hesitant but really like this dress and it's accessorized, she's like, so can we say yes? And I'm like, oh my god, I haven't even like, you know, had 2 minutes to think. Like, she's like, let's say yes, let's say yes. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know, like, there, you know, there is this other dress that I also really like. And she's like, you know, because your wedding's so quickly approaching, you have to order this one. And this was like maybe what swayed me the tiniest bit, was that we would still have to order this dress. And this dress wouldn't come in until 4 weeks before my wedding. So basically until this week that I am filming this, like August 8th. And on top of that, we would need alterations. And I was like, how is that going to work out? Like, that is cutting it really, really close. And I was like, I need time to think about it. Like, I need to first change into my real clothes because I'm going to have like a panic attack. I am very overstimulated right now. So I changed. She gave me her work cell number and was like, think about it, text me, but you need to make a decision this afternoon. I was like, I totally get it. So we like walked to this park down the street. There was like a kid's birthday party happening in this park and I'm freaking out. I text some of my friends and I'm like, oh my god, you guys, you need to help me. And it wasn't even necessarily like I needed them to make a decision. I just needed to hear other opinions. I think what kept sticking out was I felt really beautiful in this one from Kleinfelds, but stunning in that other one. And that's what I wrote to Lisa when I declined the Kleinfelds dress. You know, I said like, thank you so much. I did really feel beautiful in that dress, but I just felt stunning in the other one. And she just sent back a heart. Fine. And yeah, you know, I think that was the major difference, was how I felt in it. But if you do plan on going or have an appointment, please know it is fast paced, it is high pressure, it can be a lot and overwhelming. So, you know, just stand firm in your pricing and what you want. This is your day, your appointment. Don't let people talk you into like purchasing something that maybe you're on the fence about, because they're not cheap. These are not cheap dresses, and like you can't return, you know, something that's like ordered for you. In my full wedding wrap up, I will talk about the pricing of everything. That was my experience wedding dress shopping. Two vastly different experiences and really a just big jumble of emotions. This was a long video. I did not think it was going to take this long for me to go through all of this stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you have other questions about wedding dress shopping that I missed, leave them in the comments below and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe for more wedding and lifestyle content, and I will see you in my next video.